Hi, we are Sean and Blanca with eXp Realty.
Today we're going to look at new construction. We're going to talk to you guys about what to look out for, what features, upgrades that we love to talk about and point out for you today. So let's get going. All right, so one thing right off the bat, you're gonna see this house is full of white paint. So white is super trendy right now. It just brightens everything up. So a lot of builders are using white, but what they're doing is they're accenting it with wallpaper. So come into this little office and let us know, they mixed it up. So would you use wallpaper? It's kind of a hot topic, so we'd like to know what you think. Leave your notes in the comments. Let's talk about flooring. So this particular floor is engineered hardwood. It's really hard to tell the difference between engineered and real, and sometimes even like the fake stuff, the vinyl plank. But typically when you're above $1 million, you're gonna have either hardwood or engineered. And one thing to know is that if you have large dogs, or if you're worried about your kids beating up your hardwood floors, you might want to take the extra investment and get the 3/4 inch hardwood that will allow you to sand them in the future. Engineered hardwood, you're never going to be able to sand them, so if you get ruined or damaged, you might have to replace the entire floor, and you can imagine how many tens of thousands that would cost. So that's something you should know. All right, trim. So one way to spice up a house and make it look really luxurious is to have a little taller trim. And you would be surprised, some of the standard stuff comes like 3 to 4 inches tall, but if you just bump it up to about 6 or 7 inches, you can make your house look super nice, and it's not that expensive to do. It might only cost you a few hundred or a couple $1,000s to do it throughout the whole house.
And in this section, we wanted to talk to you about lighting. It is one of the features that we really like to point out to our clients because it makes a huge difference between one builder and another.
Yep, and if you're building from scratch, you can have a design consultation with the designer specifically to choose lighting and all of your other materials in the house, like your handles and your hardware. So it's a fun appointment, but you want to budget a little bit because lighting can run you an extra $2,000 to up to maybe $4,000 or $5,000 extra.
Which is totally worth it.
We're in the living room, and this is a $1.4 million house, so just keep that in mind when I'm showing you this. But a few things in this room that I love, but that can really add the price and shoot up your bill quickly. And that is, number one, is anything you do with the ceiling, like with beams or textures or anything like that, can really affect your price. Railing systems are actually pretty expensive, so you start doing like modern ones like that are really metal and high end, very expensive. And then lastly, we have the built-in cabinets and stonework around the fireplace. So anytime you do a lot of custom work like that, expect thousands and thousands of dollars to add to your bill. But of course, it's gorgeous, so you might want to check that out.
And now we're standing on one of my favorite parts of the house, and of course is this beautiful gourmet kitchen. Once you have one, you never want to go back. And 3 of my favorite features of this kitchen are the farm sink, this beautiful stove with 6 burners and a griddle, and of course having water available when I'm making pasta.
That's right. For me, I like the 2 combo different colors here between the countertops here and here. I'm not a fan of this gray, but I like the fact that they're different. And also the backsplash. So they did a really clean, conservative look for the backsplash. What would you do if you were building? Would you go clean, or would you do more of a fun, kind of a more colorful with patterns on your backsplash? We'd like to know, put them in the comments.
And lastly, when you are choosing your builder, make sure to look at specifics like this one. Are they using the old cabinets that come in a box or the soft built-in cabinets? Also, are they giving you the option of having glass on your kitchen and different features like that? And lastly, I really think it's important that you pay attention to the appliance package. In this case, they have a big refrigerator, and you must have that. If you have a house like this, most likely it's because you have a bigger family and you are going to need a lot of room for your food. So those are some of the features that you need to pay attention to when you're picking your builder. One of the things that you have to pay attention to when you're moving to Minnesota especially is the light in the house. We spend so much time inside the house, and the winters are so long that you want to make sure to have high windows and that they are facing the right side so that you can get as much light as possible in the house.
Yes, and by default, builders will choose kind of the lower tier windows on whatever brand they use, but it's kind of nice if you can check the brand, and this particular builder is using Pella. So those are good windows, but again, they're gonna choose the lower tier, so just something to think about when you're making your selections. Okay, in the garage, a couple things to consider when you're building is pre-wiring for your electric vehicles. I know you might not have one right now, but they're gonna be very common in the next few years. The second thing is maybe have a drain, so in the wintertime you can shovel or brush down all those icy, wet things down the drain. And then lastly, sometimes it's nice just to finish the sheetrock so it looks a little nicer rather than having everything unfinished. That's what they did in this garage. So just a few things. Oh, lastly, pre-wire extra outlets, because typically a garage is only pre-wired with one outlet or two. You might want to have a few others so you can plug some things in.
And here we are in the sanctuary.
The master suite, right?
Right.
So one of the things we like about master suites is that of course you have your private bathroom and you have your big closet, but sometimes it's nice because you can actually walk right into the laundry room right from inside the bathroom area. So it's pretty cool. You might want to think about that option if you're building. So most bathrooms are not going to be as large as this, so you're going to have a choice between having a soaking tub or a larger walk-in shower. But in this case, this is pretty big, so you can have both. What would you choose?
I choose both.
Of course.
If you like some of these tips and ideas, make sure to check out our full blog.
Yep, yeah, for free we're gonna have a download for you. You can get the full dozens of ideas and tips that goes into further detail. So go check it out on the post. It should be in the link in the description below.